right now on 15 News Now.
What does your Friday look like weather-wise? I'll have all the details.
The Boston Marathon bombing suspect has pleaded not guilty. Also, new vision and mission statements have been released for NFCC. Plus, a major bust to end human trafficking in Florida. 15 News Now starts right now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
The main suspect in the Boston Marathon bombings pleaded not guilty in his first court appearance on Wednesday. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 15 News Now. The courtroom was full of victims and their families seeking justice against one of the men they say changed their lives forever. Charlene Israel reports.
Johar Tsarnaev's hearing lasted less than 10 minutes. All he said was not guilty over and over as each of the 30 charges against him was read. The only emotion Tsarnaev showed for his sisters, smiling at them when he came in and blowing a kiss when he left. The victims present say his attitude was not one of remorse.
He never looked at us. He never turned in our direction. We were sitting directly behind him.
That he was smirking and had no care for, I don't know, just, that he just had the audacity to smirk at us is how I took it.
Liz Norton's two sons each lost legs in the bombings.
I wanted more than anything to just stand up on 2 feet. You have no idea how bad I wanted to get up.
3 people were killed and 264 others were wounded in the twin explosions on April 15th. If convicted, Tsarnaev could face the death penalty. Outside the courthouse, 20 MIT officers stood at attention. Tsarnaev is also accused of killing one of their own, as he and his older brother Tamerlan tried to outrun police.
I didn't see the remorse. I didn't see the nervousness or the fear, or I didn't see any of that.
Supporters of Tsarnaev also waited outside the court. They cheered when his motorcade arrived, yelling justice for Johar, the name the 19-year-old was known by. Prosecutors say Tsarnaev wrote about his motivations for the bombing on the inside walls of the boat where he hid from authorities, writing that the U.S. government was, quote, killing our innocent civilians, and then going on to say, we Muslims are one body. You hurt one, you hurt us all.
Meanwhile, the nation's leaders are asking why Boston law enforcement didn't see the attack coming. Heather Sells reports that they are pushing for more monitoring and coordination.
Boston police should have known more about Tamerlan and Johar Tsarnaev, the 2 bombing suspects, before their explosives ever went off. In hearings in both the Senate and the House, experts agreed on that point. House Homeland Security Chair Mike McCall noted that Boston police did not know that the FBI had opened a criminal investigation into Tamerlan, nor that he had traveled to Dagestan.
So it seems to me they're a great force multiplier, but here we are 12 years after 9/11. And we still are not seeing that kind of coordination and communication taking place. And when the FBI says we don't have the resources, why don't you leverage state and locals? They want to help. The Boston police wanted to be a part of this. They wanted to be at the table.
Former New York Mayor Rudolph Giuliani also testified, noting that the country's 800,000 police could enhance FBI efforts. The FBI has just 12,000 agents.
If you're trying to find a needle in a haystack in a community in America, the FBI cannot do it.
The Boston bombing also underscored the threat of small but deadly attacks, a big headache for law enforcement since tracking individuals is so labor-intensive.
Detecting that tipping point where someone moves from radicalized to mobilized is the very hardest piece.
Leader, the former head of the National Counterterrorism Center, also pointed out that since 9/11, the country has been largely successful in thwarting terrorism at home.
I don't want to make light of the losses we've suffered. But frankly, in my view, it is nothing short of remarkable that since 9/11, we have had a total of 18 people killed in the homeland by al-Qaeda-inspired terrorism. 13 at Fort Hood, 1 at Little Rock, and 4 in Boston most recently.
In Boston's case, many lives were spared thanks to first responders who were trained specifically for terror attacks.
Interstate 10 in Madison County continues to be improved with the third of 4 Florida Department of Transportation resurfacing projects that are underway. This project is from State Route 14 to 5 miles east of US 221 for a total of nearly 6 miles. Crews begin with the installation of drainage pipes for the construction of a median crossover for emergency vehicles about 2 miles west of State Road 14, and will then resurface this section of I-10 and ramps at the State Road 14 interchange. Once the roadway has been resurfaced, construction will begin on the median crossover for emergency vehicles. Guardrails will also be installed at State Road 14 interchange. During the resurfacing project, Florida Highway Patrol will be enforcing the 60-mile-per-hour speed limit during lane closures. Motorists are reminded that speeding fines are doubled in construction work zones when workers are present. To see a list of all of the lane closures, visit our website, WSFD15.com. Some early morning flights out of Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport were canceled Thursday thanks to a broken sprinkler head. The incident occurred at around 5 a.m. Thursday in the airport's Terminal 1. Concourses B and C were briefly evacuated. Airlines operating out of Terminal 1 include Allegiant, Frontier, Southwest, AirTran, and United. Police and city leaders in Florida say they've taken precautionary steps for possible protest or civil unrest if George Zimmerman is acquitted in the killing of unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin. For months now, officials have been working with pastors, youth coaches, and community activists to stress a nonviolent approach once a verdict is announced. But police have also quietly been making plans to deal with potential violence. In South Florida, where the 17-year-old Martin was from, police may set up First Amendment zones in the Miami area for peaceful rallies. Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel also is airing TV ads stressing nonviolence. Zimmerman is on trial for second-degree murder in the shooting of Martin in Sanford, Florida. Martin's supporters say the shooting was racially motivated, while Zimmerman claimed self-defense. Well, now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast and what can we expect for the weekend. Dustin?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Today we saw showers and thunderstorms throughout the Big Bend, and we're going to continue to see those off and on. Temperature on the warm side this evening, about 86 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., about 83. But look at that, down to about 76 by midnight. How long will these warmer temperatures last? I'll let you know coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And when we come back on 15 News Now, new vision and mission statements have been released for NFCC. That story coming up on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
As part of its ongoing 2012 through 2017 strategic plan, North Florida Community College has adopted a new vision and mission statements for the college. Development of the college's new vision and mission statements was a collaborative effort. NFCC used surveys to gather input from NFCC students, employees, alumni, and the community. Draft statements developed in late 2012 were sent out via survey for additional input and suggestions. The evaluation of NFCC's mission and vision statements is one of many objectives outlined in NFCC's 2012 through 2017 strategic plan, which was also developed with input from across the NFCC campus and service district. The new vision and mission can be seen at our website, WSFD15.com. The Texas House has approved new abortion restrictions. Lawmakers there gave final approval to the measure on Wednesday.
It was a very passionate debate. I'm proud of who we are as a state and for the step that we have taken to protect both babies and women.
And we think that they should have a right and a choice, and that choice should be whether or not that they want to carry their child or to terminate them.
I think there's enough money that goes into Planned Parenthood and other entities such that if these facilities would like to stay open, they will, and they have to comply with Texas law in order to do so.
The bill is expected to pass the Texas Senate as early as Friday. In the meantime, demonstrations are still going on outside the state capitol if it becomes law. Abortions after 20 weeks will be banned due to evidence that babies can feel pain by then. It would also require abortion providers to follow state surgical standards. Critics say it would shut down most abortion clinics in Texas. Well, in North Carolina, a similar effort is underway to create more abortion safeguards after the governor mentioned a veto Wednesday. Republicans in the state General Assembly quickly rewrote their bill. They then slipped it into another bill. Sponsors say the goal is to make abortion clinics safer. Opponents say regulations would shut down most abortion clinics in that state. A judge has stopped a plan to dump thousands of tons of sand into Fish-Eating Creek by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Building the roads to complete the project would have cost the state $3 million. Agribusiness giants Likes Brothers Incorporated has been trying to close the creek to public access for 23 years and had offered to provide the sand for free. Now the DEP is expected to continue its initial restoration plan for the right-of-way. Earth Justice Attorney Elisa Cole says the ruling is a win for Florida citizens.
You go out there and it looks like you're in National Geographic. It's gorgeous. And it's really important that we remember who these rivers belong to, and that's the people of the state.
Now that the Tallahassee judge issued a ruling preventing blocking the navigation channel, it's up to the Florida DEP to resume restoration. At the moment, it isn't possible to boat or fish in all of Fish-Eating Creek because of extensive overgrowth. Likes Brothers Incorporated is one of the largest landowners in the U.S. and Florida and owns property right around the creek. 3 years ago, when the state began its restoration efforts on the creek, there were places where unintentional damage was done to the health of the marsh. Attorney Coe says the legal ruling forces the state to fix the problem instead of enacting what she calls a disproportionate and outlandish response.
It's basically the equivalent of deciding that since your house has got some crooked siding on it, you'll just burn the thing down. Rather than addressing where the restoration may have gotten off track, the state decided to eliminate the stream.
The DEP planned to use $3 million in tax money to build roads through the wetlands around the creek in order to dump about 3,300 truckloads of sand in order to block the creek. Those roads would have been available for use by the Likes Brothers Company. Up next on 15 News Now, a major bust to end human trafficking in Florida. 15 News Now, we'll be right back.
Health Insurance Update.
This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
A human trafficking ring in Florida is branding the bodies of women and girls who are used for prostitution. A major bust began back in May, netting 92 arrests, among them a 15-year-old girl. Officials learned she was part of a trafficking ring that was bringing women into countries throughout Florida to sell their bodies. The Polk County Sheriff said he was outraged when he saw markings on the girl that showed she was being treated like a slave.
In the year 2013, we are tattooing, branding children, and people are using them as consumable merchandise. And then they simply throw them away.
The Florida Attorney General is pursuing this multi-county investigation into human trafficking. 3 Georgia men were recently rescued by Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officers at the mouth of the Ecofina River and the Gulf of Mexico. Another FWC officer rescued 2 people who had attempted to assist the men in the water, but whose own boat ceased running and was filling with water. 22-year-old Ryan Hall, 26-year-old Blake Bynum, and 27-year-old Daniel Powers, all of Georgia, were in the water after their boat capsized in rough weather. The Taylor County Sheriff's Office asked for assistance with the 3 men from the FWC officers. Once the officers arrived, Hall was found in the water clinging to a marker, and Bynum and Powell with the capsized vessel. The 3 were rescued with minor injuries. Another vessel had attempted to rescue the Georgia men, but it also ran into trouble. 51-year-old Alan Hendricks from Crawfordville and his passenger aboard a 15-foot open boat began taking on water when their engine broke down. Both men were rescued. Well, authorities are investigating after an explosion at a Tampa bar. No one was injured when the explosion happened around 10:30 p.m. Wednesday at the Radio Bar and Grill on Bush Boulevard. Someone called police saying someone had set off a bomb in the bar. Officers say some sort of device exploded. The bar was evacuated and investigators completed a sweep of the building. Police say one person was taken to the hospital after complaining of chest pains. The explosive and ordnance team and the fire marshal's office are investigating. A man in his 30s is dead after a shooting at a Miami bus stop. The shooting occurred about 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday as the victim sat at a bus stop on the corner of Northwest 36th and 12th Avenue in Miami. Police say the gunman approached the bus stop and began shooting. The victim tried to cross the street but collapsed and died on the road. Authorities say the motive is not known. Investigators are searching for the suspect, who was in his 20s. The name of the victim has not been released.
Coming up next in Weather, your latest Storm Tracker weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Mom? Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back, cloudy skies out there right now. We've seen showers and thunderstorms off and on today. 86 degrees is our current temperature, and it feels like 92 out there with current dew point 72, 63% humidity, and a wind about or so. We are still watching Chantal as it gets closer. It's not a tropical storm anymore, but the remnants of it we are seeing come into the area. Showers and thunderstorms are definitely going to continue. It looks like pure summertime heat is here to stay. Here's what our forecast looks like. Like I said, watching Chantal, we're going to see showers and thunderstorms off and on throughout Florida. We're going to continue to see those for a while. It's that continuous broken record here in the Big Bend. Forecast this evening, if you're going out and about, showers and thunderstorms continue off and on. 86 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., 83. By midnight, we're down to about 76, so it's definitely a mild evening in store. Forecast lows tonight around 71 degrees with showers and thunderstorms, southwest wind 5 to 10. For tomorrow, more thunderstorms, 89 degrees with a southwest wind 5 to 10. Looking ahead to the next several days, showers and thunderstorms continue off and on. As you look at your 7-day forecast, nothing new here. We're going to continue to see these showers and thunderstorms and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s most of the 7-day forecast. But look at that, by Thursday next week, down to about 82. More details on your forecast located at WSFD15.com. Fred, back to you.
I'm Stacy Johnson. Ready for a recipe that'll feed a family of 4 a feast for less than 15 bucks? See what's cooking just ahead on Money Talks News.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. You just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
We all want to get the most for our money, especially when it comes to our food. So what about a meal for a family of 4 for less than $15? This week's Frugal Family Feast features a fast and delicious cheese tortellini Alfredo.
I'm Stacy Johnson, and this is the uber-talented Chef Ray De La Osa. He is the resident chef for Publix Aprons Cooking School. Chef is going to make for us a feast for a family of 4 for less than $15. What's it going to be today, Chef?
A cheese tortellini with a side salad and crispy croutons.
I'm all about the pasta. What goes in it?
We have some Publix frozen cheese tortellini, Publix Alfredo, and the bonus about this recipe is you get a salad and some croutons with it. We have some ranch dressing and baguette.
It sounds great, Chef. Throw it together for me.
All right, so we have our Alfredo sauce that's warm. We boiled our tortellini, and all you do with this is you just toss it together, season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's done.
Cool.
But now we're gonna do our crostinis. You put a little bit of olive oil on those.
Like that much?
Yeah, as much as you want.
Okay.
Cooking is whatever you want. Go ahead and put that into the oven.
Got it.
450 degrees.
How long?
Until they're done.
Okay, a few minutes?
Yes. And then go ahead and make our salad for us. You can use any dressing you like. We're gonna use ranch for this one.
Okay, just
and go ahead, toss that together.
Easy enough.
And then
So this just came right out of the jar into the pan?
Right out of the jar into the pan. This is
really
super, super simple. Absolutely.
And it really takes almost no time at all.
And the best part is $11.59.
No way.
Wait.
I'm down. And here's what it looks like when it's done. Is it going to taste as good as it looks? Let's find out. My favorite part of the show. What can you can't get better than that. It's fabulous. Go to MoneyTalksNews.com right now. Just do a search for Frugal Family Feast. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Like Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links at his website. To get there, just go to our website, WSFD15.com. Click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu. You know, we see typically a lot of different snakes during the summertime, but have you ever seen a bubble snake? Jason Lindsay, aka Mr. Science, shows us how to create a bubble snake by using a few ingredients from around the house.
My science helper Brenna and I have a pretty cool experiment for you. It's called the bubble snake. How are you, Brenna? Good. Give me 5 for science. Here's how we do this experiment. I have an old water bottle, so I cut it in half, and since I'm an adult, I can use a knife and do that. Then I took an old wash rag and put it where I cut the water bottle in half and held it on with a rubber band. Next, I put some food coloring, red and green, right there on the wash rag. I'm going to dip it into my super bubble solution. You can learn how to make super bubbles by going to the website hookedonscience.org. And then I'm going to blow a long breath through my opening of the water bottle. Ready? Does it look like a snake? Is it going to bite me? No, it's not. You try it now, Brenna. Okay, I want you to blow right through it just like that. Oh, whoa, look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? Learn more about this experiment by going to our award-winning website. That website is hookedonscience.org.
Go to WSFD15.com, click on the Hooked on Science link under the Lifestyles menu for this experiment and others that might get you and your entire family hooked on science.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family. So I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
Folks, thanks for joining us on 15 News Now. Dustin and I will be back tomorrow. Until then, have a blessed day and evening. God bless everybody.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.